Hey, what it do, baby boo? This is just a low-key response to Huap's video, I think that's how you say his name, that he made, and it was called How to Actually Improve at League. I really like the video. The reason why I'm doing this is because, if we're being completely honest, there's one thing that you can do to get more, like, traction in a YouTube channel, and that is just to make response videos. So that's one reason why I'm doing this. Second reason is because I fucking love... I don't love him, I don't know who he is, but I like Huap heaps, and I've seen his videos, and there's one specifically that he made on God. And if you don't know, I was brought up religious, and I love philosophy, and I love psychology, and I love all that kind of out there kind of stuff. So he made it, and that video clicked with me heaps. So I highly suggest you watch that video if you like those topics. And third off, because I kind of want to get his attention, so spam this shit on his YouTube channel. Like, I just want him to fucking know that he's the man. Anyway, I thought I'd give my opinion on this topic. It's a really good topic, so let's jump straight into it. First off, the thing that you need to understand is that there is 4 stages of being good at anything in life. This is just my opinion. Oh, sorry, this isn't just my opinion. There have been studies on this, and I think it's called like the 4 stages of competence. First stage is called unconscious incompetence, and that's where you don't even know that you're shit at whatever you're doing. And to be honest, this is like 60% of League of Legends players at the minimum, because I think 60% of LoL players are in bronze and silver. By the way, if you're in bronze and silver, I'm not saying that you are this, okay? This is just a generalization that the majority of people in bronze and silver and low elo, they don't know that they're shit at the game, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're just unconsciously incompetent. Second stage of competence is conscious incompetence. That's when you are aware that you're shit at the game. Now, to stress this point, just because you're aware that you're shit at the game doesn't mean that you're going to improve. There are plenty of people who know that they're shit at the game, but they're not willing to put in the effort that's required to improve and to become competent. That's fine, okay? I'm not judging. If you know you're shit and you just can't be bothered improving, I'm not judging, okay? But if you want to improve at League of Legends, you have to get better, so make that decision of whether you're actually going to go through the process to improve and put in the effort required. Third stage is called conscious competence, and that's the stage where a lot of change starts to happen, heaps of change. That's the stage where I told you when I first started playing League of Legends, I went from silver to diamond in 3 weeks. This is the process that I went through called conscious competence. And that's when you really start focusing and you're not just on autopilot. Because most people, when they play League of Legends, they're just on autopilot. And they play one game, and that game is exactly the same as the game they played before, which is exactly the same as the game before, and they're not improving at all. Or maybe just like the slightest amount. So conscious competence is when you start really focusing and you start, getting out of autopilot mode, put in that focus practice that I've always talked about, and then you start seeing results, and you start to see your habits and your gameplay and the way that you're doing things just starts to completely change, and then you start getting better results. So you start winning more games. This is the thing of focus practice. This is what focus practice is all about, is conscious competence. Then, the 4th stage of competence that I think everybody would like to get to is unconscious competence. And that's the point where your autopilot mode, you're just playing games, is amazing, and you're just really good. That's why when people ask me how to do something, like how to be good at League of Legends, I say, I don't know. Like, I don't know, because I'm unconscious when I play the game. And my skills, I've brought my skill level up so much to the point where I ingrained it into my subconscious, or until the point where I can just be on autopilot, blah blah. But me on autopilot is fucking, I'm not trying to say this to be a dick, but me on autopilot is like really good skills, okay? Because I went through the process. That is what everybody wants to get to, is the point where they're unconsciously competent. Now, the fastest way to improve at League of Legends, in my opinion, is to reverse engineer the process. And so I've written down some points here about each role that you can use, and you can break these points down and then really focused on these concepts when you're playing the game. So mid lane, the concepts that I've wrote down is matchups, CSing, roaming, snowballing the lead, objective control, map awareness, matchups, and team fighting. Someone's going to ask which one is more important to the other. No, they're all equal. They all have their importance. For mid lane, you really need to focus on your CSing. Like, your CSing needs to be the benchmark that I used. Minimum 70 CS at 10 minutes, that's minimum, okay, and then you work your way up from there. Matchups, so knowing maybe if you are a Fizz, and you're versing a LeBlanc, you have to know that you're probably going to get spanked in lane. You're probably going to get completely wrecked. And that's okay. It's okay to get wrecked in the first six levels, because when you turn level 6, the whole game changes. But see, most people don't know that. Most people think, oh, you gotta be aggressive from the start. Oh, you gotta fucking, you gotta assert your dominance. So you understand, just understand the matchups. Roaming is so important. Roaming is the ability to obviously roam. I would prefer you to roam to bot lane and shut down the enemy ADC. So knowing how to do that, push the wave, knowing that the enemy bot lane is pushed up to your turret, so they're in a perfect position to gank or whatever. Maybe taking a pink with you so you can clear out any enemy vision on the way. Snowballing the lead, so taking that lead that you got at mid lane or you got from roaming, and then using that to snowball and take the first turret, go back bot and gank them again, take that turret, get dragon, go back to base, blah blah blah, get the snowball going. Objective control, similar to what I just said. Map awareness, so you don't get ganked by the enemy jungler. So maybe you saw the jungle try and gank your top lane, and so you know, okay, he's top side, so I'm going to play towards the bottom side of the map, and I'm going to be a little bit safe because I know he could be ganking, and I'm pushed up all the way, so this is a perfect opportunity for the enemy jungle to gank me, so I'm just going to play a little bit safe. So map awareness and team fighting. So if you're Zed, maybe you're not the best team fighter, maybe you should split push. Team fighting, maybe you are Zed and you're trying to group and you want to get a 5-man fucking shield or whatever it's called. Maybe you're Victor and you know that you are supposed to stay at the back line and just chuck the Chaos Storm. For ADC, it's CSing again, matchups again, team fighting again, map awareness again, snowballing mid to late because ADC usually don't become relevant until like 20 minutes or something, and then being ready for early skirmishes. So CSing, same, relating back to the old point. Matchups, something like you're Vayne and you're versing a Caitlyn, don't try and go balls deep and fucking 1v1 her or some shit, like Caitlyn has the longer range, so she might give you a hiding. If she's good, she'll give you a hiding in the laning phase, but that's okay. Just wait for your power spike, blah blah blah. Team fight positioning, I've always said it, just stay at the back of the team fight and hit the person in front of you. Maybe 70 or 80% of the time that's the right thing to do. There's other times, but I'm not going to go into that. Snowballing mid to late, so taking the lead from you got all the CS and you're taking the first turret and then you rotate mid, get their turret, go back to drag, blah blah blah. So snowballing that game and being ready for early skirmishes. This one's really important, I've noticed. If you're ADC and you push the wave up and there's a fight happening next to you or something like close to you, you can go and help them, and that's those little early skirmishes, 2v2s, 3v3s, have a huge effect on the flow of the game. Jungle is huge. If there's one thing to wrap it up, and I want you to understand, the whole concept that will make you a better jungler is knowing how to read the map. That falls into other categories like being at the right place at the right time, understanding the flow of the game and understanding where you should be, matchups, so you can see it's like someone top, like Lulu top versus Maokai, maybe Lulu will push him in, so that's an opportunity to gank. Balance ganking plus farming, counter ganking, counter jungling, blah blah blah. All these concepts are really, really important, but if you're jungle, the most important one that I highly suggest you start with is understanding how to read the map. Support, warding, create opportunities for plays, roaming, and team fights. So warding is easy, you just ward up at the places to give your guys some extra vision, some support and shit, give you guys some leeway and some safety. Creating opportunities for plays, so maybe you see an opportunity bot, you hit level 2 first and you're Thresh, and then you abuse that advantage and scrap the level 1 enemy bot lane or whatever. Team fights, knowing whether you're a frontline or you're a peeler. So if you're Janna, you're not a frontline at all, you should try and peel your backline, peel for your ADC, similar to Nami. On the other hand, you could be like a Trundle or a Leona or some shit, and your ability is more suited to go balls deep. That is a generalization, okay? I'm not saying every single time you have to do that, okay? There are times when Trundle should, and Nautilus or whatever, they should peel, and there are other times where Janna should go on the front line and ulti them back, or some shit, okay? That's just a generalization. And then roaming, so understanding maybe your ADC went back to buy items and you have a good 30 seconds that you can go mid and maybe try and kill the enemy mid lane or force his flash or some shit. Top lane, I'm not going to give advice on top lane, because I fucking suck and I hate top. And I'm not going to try and talk about something that I have no clue what to do. And then the last one that I want to say is that, and I think Huap said this as well, your emotions play a huge part in everything I said. Everything that I just said is logistics. Everything that I just said is purely intellectual. It's like if you were to teach these concepts to a robot, he will be able to kick your ass. Like, kick your ass to the nines. Because robots have no emotion. But, I've always said this, okay? Your emotions, if you get tilty and if you get too aggressive and if you fucking start raging and blaming your teammates and stuff, your emotions are going to stop you from learning these concepts. Okay, they get in the way. I've said this a billion times. You're supposed to be focusing on this stuff, the intellectual logistics, the stuff that I've just stated, but your emotions will stop you from doing that. If you let it get in the way, it just blocks it, and then you only have a limited amount of mental RAM, mental energy, and you're wasting it on emotions rather than the necessities. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, is quality. You need to practice heaps, okay? There's going to, requires you to practice a lot, and you're going to play a lot of games and shit, but don't spam games. You're wasting so much freaking time if you just spam games and you just be one of these people who, and it's funny because the majority of people in the world do this, they just spam games, like, they just spam, hoping to climb, and I'm like, that's fucking, it's not calculated at all. There's no plan at all set in place. You're just playing, oh yeah, you know what, I'm 2,000 games in season 5, season 6 or whatever, but I'm still bronze. And I'm like, oh fuck, you're a genius. Quality, every game, focus as much as you can, just focus. Extract as much value out of each particular experience, /scenario, /game, and that's the fastest way, okay? Hope this helped you. If any of you guys watch Huap, tell him I said hello, because that dude's fucking crack up his dick. Have a good day. I love you. Stay beautiful. Shut up, ducks.